time. It is Me First Friday. Me First Friday. All right. You know what? Real quick though, because real quick, we are going to be. We have a very interesting topic today. One that I, ooh, I struggle with real bad. Hey, greetings. I I'm looking for something that I know I had when I sat down. Okay, here we go. But today is Me First Friday, and we are going to be talking about why, if I don't do it, no one will, is the biggest reason why we struggle putting ourselves first. And so that is going to be what we talk about today, this morning. And I want you to carry it with you, forever, but, at least for today. I want to inspire you to just get really creative about how you put yourself first and how you allow other people to help you in expanding your efforts, your impact, your energy, and, really putting yourself first. And so let's just jump right into it. The first point that I want to discuss this morning, as it relates to um, the statement, "If I don't do it, nobody will." Honestly, I used to sing that song so hard. I'm on the ad libs. Honestly, like I was the one in the back saying, "I could do it better by myself." So, like, here's the thing. The first point that I wanted to draw your awareness to this morning, when it comes to that statement, "If I don't do it, no one will." If I don't do it, no one will. Because see, what happens is we will put ourselves in a box, and we won't get better at utilizing our tribe. Okay. We won't be able to grow and mature and strengthen those delegation muscles, those tribal muscles that allow us to really engage in our community, engage in our partners, our associates, our dependents, and really be able to start sharing the load, right? And the first thing that you want to do is question that statement. One, if you ever find yourself thinking like, "If I don't do it, nobody else is going to do it," question that. Is that really true? Or is it a preference, right? Is it true or is it a preference? I can tell you 9 times out of 10, in my experience, it was a preference. Because yes, as a single mom, there are a lot of things that I do that if I don't do, no one will do. But there are also a lot of things that I can also receive help in, right? And so, and so it's like whenever you ask yourself, is this true or is this a preference? If you are open to yourself, if you are being honest with yourself, if you are even interested in expanding your your self-love practice, expanding your impact, expanding your energy, and really tapping into, what it is that you're actually capable of, then you'll start to really look for, okay, if this is a preference, or, challenge it. If it is a preference, who can I delegate this to? Or what can I sacrifice or give up so that I'm able to maintain that time to myself? Or, be able to have more time with myself, or put myself first, right? And so, if you are, what this can look like is, like, say for instance, if you are challenging yourself to say, okay, if this is a preference, then who am I able to delegate? Who am I able to leverage to help me in preserving some of my energy so that I'm not giving everything that I have every single day and not having anything left for myself? Who can I trust to get it done? Because sometimes when it's a matter of preference, it's always like this little thing that you do that you may not think somebody else is going to do. And at the end of the day, if it's getting done, it's getting done, right? When we're talking about, this is how much energy I have for the day, I'm already right here. At this point, I'm just going to make sure that it gets done, right? So that I can preserve myself and align myself with self-preservation. Because when you align yourself with self-preservation, the quality of work that you put out there is always going to be, at a higher standard, right? But if you're working from a space of like if you're working from empty, if you're working from, oh my God, you're delirious because your mind hasn't been able to rest and get sufficient rest. You are sacrificing your diet. You're not eating. You're not nourishing yourself. You're not giving yourself the fuel that you need to even be able to operate from a space of full and from a space of replenishment and nourishment. Then the quality of your work is going to suffer. All right, so you have to ask yourself a question. Okay, am I going to be able to put my best effort into this? And if I can't, who can I bring in and expand this energy, enhance the quality of work that's going into this, because I'm able to bring someone else in with fresh eyes, fresh energy. So ask yourself these questions, who else can I leverage? And so an example that I want to use today is, and I always bring this back to being a single mom in a city that I don't have any family in. So a lot of times I have to ask myself, who can I bring in, who can I leverage? Because my mom isn't here, my brothers, they live 2 hours away easy. And so I had to get really close, really comfortable with building relationships with people that, I'm not related to. I had to really learn how to build a tribe around me in this city. And so I got close to my children's educators. So at the daycare, everybody know me. Everybody know me in the daycare. I mean, teachers that don't even take care of my babies. Everybody knows me there. My son's school, teachers, principal, assistant principal, guidance counselor, everybody knows me. And so, and even when I go to pay my rent, the lady that I go in the office, I'm always chopping it up with her, asking her questions, talking to her. How you doing? How you feeling? Like, I'm building this community around me because there's going to come a time where I'm going to need a question answered that I don't know. And she may have, I remember one time talking to her and saying, yeah, I'm trying to build an ecosystem of small businesses, owned by women and minority-owned businesses, and trying to promote wellness. Just talking to her about centering me and kind of like what my vision is for it. And she was like, "Oh, my sister, she has a business. She makes soap from goat milk or whatever." She's so sweet. But it's just, I would not have known that about her or her sister had I not been very intentional about building relationships around me. I mean, I remember, wanting to know, like, okay, I might need to start looking for a sitter in the area, because on the weekends, there's some weekends that I have my baby, some weekends they go visit their dad. But on the weekends that I may need to go to a conference, but it's my weekend, I need to find a sitter. All right, pick up the phone. I'm gonna call the director at the daycare. Hey, any sitters, or do you have anybody at the daycare that I know that does sitting on the weekend, babysitting on the weekends or something like that? And I'm able to make these connections. Ended up finding out that my neighbor is a retired teacher and would want nothing more than to sit on the weekends. And so it was just kind of like, me being very proactive in building a tribe around me. And I had resistance in the beginning. You know, the first 2 years I was here, I was not trying to make new friends. I was very much team no friends, no new friends. How about that? So, you know, being able to really position yourself, and this can go into your workplace. You know, if you are struggling to get answers, there are so many resources. Like, you have to learn how to be resourceful, in that you can see an opportunity for a solution, when initially presented to you, it doesn't seem like there is one. So being able to leverage your HR department, your manager, your mentor, your the guy that bags your groceries, like, you know, being able to talk to these people, build these relationships, go into different events, meeting new people. This is going to benefit you tremendously, because you don't have to do all of the things, right? I am Miss Google Queen. I will try and try and try to figure things out by myself. And so, what I have learned in this journey, sis, that it is just not going to serve you. It's a great practice to want to, you know, find that information on your own and be able to, be solution oriented in that way. But being resourceful is so much more powerful, and it's going to take you so much more further in your journey, because there are just things that you just don't know, right? Like Aniko says, I'm above so many things, but there's so many things that are above me. And so when you know that, and when you understand that, then it's something that really kind of like helps you to want to expand your network, want to expand your reach, your impact, and the energy that comes with being around you. And so, and comes with being you. And so, because your network, that's energy that is for you, that comes with being with you and around you, and comes with you. So make sure that you are checking to see, like, okay, is this a preference, or is this something that is actually true? You know, if I don't do it, nobody will, nobody else will. You know, you really have to start testing that thing out, you know, calling that bluff, and really start to unlearn some belief systems that may just be self-limiting, right? And so, and this is, and without saying it, that's exactly what I'm saying. That, you know, if you use that statement more than enough, if you more than enough times, that is going to restrict you, then that is a self-limiting belief. That is a self-limiting belief that is going to drive self-limiting behaviors. And that's just not what we want, right? So the next thing that I want to bring up as it relates to, if I don't do it, no one else will. Okay, so let's just go on the other end. If you can't find someone else, right, that can help you in achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve, help you in doing what you want to do. And let me just say this too, because I mentioned the members of your tribe earlier. I didn't say what that was, but when I said partners, associates, dependents, these are all of the members of your tribe. All right, so your partners are going to be people who you can call on for just about anything. This goes from spouse to BFF. This is parents, this is brothers, siblings. These are people that are really in your inner circle, right? These are people that you would call your partners. You can talk to them about anything. You can let them know what your situation is, and you can start bouncing ideas off each other, leveraging each other's resources, and being able to get things done. Your associates, these are people like I was talking about, in my extended network, my daycare family, the rental office, the HR department, your mentor, your friends, the people at the gym that you share membership with, like, you know, whatever the people are that you come in contact with, at least on a monthly basis, or your doctor, your lawyer, nurses. Like, these are all people that are considered associates, that are considered experts, that are more than capable of being associates in your tribe. And these are people that you can leverage to help you in expanding who you are, expanding your efforts, expanding your impact. You know what I mean? And the dependents, these are people that you take care of, right? So these are your babies. These are your babies. These might be your parents. And these are just people that are dependent on you for survival, right? And so, the reason I brought that back up is because I actually use my dependents sometimes too. So yesterday we did laundry, and my baby is 4, and my baby girl's 4, my son is 9, and they on towel duty. My daughter does the rags, my son does the towels. And then when they finish that, they on sock duty. When they finish that, they on underwear duty. And it really doesn't sound like a lot, but when you are doing a lot of the things on your own, it's little things like that really make a huge difference. Like, I don't care how my baby folds them rags, as long as they look like a square, something like a square when she's done. And yesterday when we got home, I put them up. Like, thanks for your help. Putting them up, we're good. So don't ever underestimate what your dependents can do for you as well, to help you in getting things done, maximizing your impact. So moving on to the next point, is on the other side. Like, if you don't have partners, associates, or dependents, it's you can in some way build up a tribe, but let's just go to the other end of the spectrum, right? And say there is not something. How about this? Not that you don't have a tribe, but there's something. There's something that you have to do that only you can do. Truly, it's not a preference. What you want to do in this case to maintain prioritizing yourself is looking at other things that you can give up and replace, so that you can still have that reserve, right, for yourself by the end of the day. So what that looks like could be, if you watch a show the same time every night, the show gotta go, because that's about 30 minutes to an hour that you can have to yourself. So you got to give that up. You got to start making some sacrifices. If there's somebody that you talk to every single day on the phone, that conversation is probably not going to be a conversation had today, So we have to continue to do what is going to make it so that by the time we lay our head down on our bed at night, we still have some left for ourselves. You should feel like by the time you get rested at night, you should feel like there's still some left in the tank. And the reason why I say that is because, and this is actually something that was inspired by something that I heard from Yai, who is here. There was a clip that he has on his page that I saw last year, and it was talking about why you should not wait to eat until you're hungry, because you're more likely to compromise your diet. That inspired so much in me when I saw that, because through research and just continuing to really explore that, on a level of other things outside of, your diet and your nutrition, I realized that when we get tired, by the time we actually feel tired, feel exhaustion, it's already past the point. We've already passed the point where our body was ready for replenishment, right? Whether that be rest, whether that be food, whether that be stillness, we're already past that point. And so when you can get to where you're going to bed and you're not exhausted, then you're going to start experiencing days of greater fulfillment, because you're not draining yourself fully every single day. That's not how this life works, right? When we talk about Me First Friday, we're really talking about putting me first, right? And that is in every aspect of your life. So let's just say there's something that you have to do. You can't get anyone else to do it. So okay, well, what are we giving up so that we can get this done, but we're not laying down on E at the end of the day, right? So are we giving up TV time? Are we giving up talking on the phone time? Are we giving up time that we usually spend with the babies, the spouse? Hey, listen, I'm gonna be in the shower for a little while tonight. Like, like I use a steamer, and that's one thing too about having a tribe is that you learn how to be a better communicator too, right? So with my babies, I let them know yesterday. I already knew that I was nearing, that phase. Like I was, matter of fact, I was there. I was already there. Yesterday, I used a lot more energy than usual, and I told him, I said, listen, when we get in the house, we're gonna fix something to eat. We're gonna chill for a little bit, but I'm not in the mood for that arguing, that back and forth. Y'all play nice today, okay? So mommy's a little bit more tired than usual. So that's me letting them know. Uh, let's be calm. This is we gonna start transitioning to that second phase of the day a lot earlier today. That's what I tell them, like when it's time to go to bed, it's time to transition to that second phase of the day, right? So when we're doing that transition, it's time to be calm, time to focus on calmness, it's time to focus on stillness, right? So let's just be calm, let's be nice, let's be gentle with each other, let's be soft with each other, right? And so being able to communicate that, like I have no issues. At first, yeah, we have to continue to repeat and, explain. But now it's like when I let them know, they get it. And they're just like, all right, cool, mommy. And so it's all a matter of just communicating. And so when like, all right, this that I have to do is going to probably put me closer. It's going to use the energy that I would have used for that phone call. I would have used for time talking to my spouse, or I would have used for my favorite TV show. I'm gonna give that up because again, I'm not going to bed exhausted. I'm not going to bed on E. I'm just not gonna do that, right? Because the next day, I'm still making an investment for my future self. I'm still making an investment for the version of me that has to show up tomorrow as her best self, right? And so that's something that we have to always keep in mind too. That we're living for today. But by the time it's time to transition to that second phase of the day, getting that rest, this is about this is about the investment that we're making in ourselves for tomorrow. This is about the investment that we're making for ourselves for next week, next month, next year, you know? And so make sure that we are being very, very aware of, our energy throughout the day and what is required to make sure that we're making proper investments to our future selves for the next day. The last point that I wanted to bring up today as it relates to if I don't do it, no one else will, is are you avoiding this me time? Are you avoiding putting yourself first, and if so, for what reasons? Are you uncomfortable with stillness? Having time with, just still with yourself. Are you uncomfortable with alone time, being alone? Are you uncomfortable because of guilt that you experience? I used to experience a lot of mommy guilt, and had to conquer that real quick. But but I say that to say it's normal. It's normal, but you got to conquer that, right? Because you are responsible for you. You're responsible for your replenishment. You're responsible for the way that you respond to yourself, right? And so this is a reflection of your ability to respond to you. This is a reflection of your ability to respond to, low energy levels. This is an opportunity for you to respond to emotional overwhelm. This is your ability to respond to, being. You have to know when you need time for yourself, and you have to know how to prioritize your wellness so that you know what you are, why you have to be in alignment with self-preservation, right? So part of that is being by yourself. Part of that is spending time journaling, meditating, and learning who you are so that you can get more familiar with what it is that you are protecting. You got to start cultivating that peace, cultivating that internal experience of peace, love, stillness, and balance, so that you can really understand at all times that This is why I'm putting myself first. This is why I'm bringing in these other folks to help me with this project. This is why I'm leveraging my HR department. This is why I'm calling the daycare to see if they have any sitter people that babysit on the weekend. This is why I'm sacrificing my favorite TV show this evening. This is why I'm spending extra time, in the shower to decompress. Like, you have to know why why it's so essential that you are prioritizing your wellness, prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your ability to strengthen your ability to respond to you, because that's what having responsibility for self is. It is your ability to respond to self, right? It's not about taking care of yourself, like eating, having food on the table, roof over your head, clothes on your back. It's about knowing how to respond to yourself, because you could literally be homeless. I was just talking to a homeless woman yesterday, and I'm telling you, the way that you respond to yourself makes all of the difference in your life. And then wellness is the difference between, like I said yesterday, having a day that will take you out and it just being a rough day. So I want to wrap up with, let's just be even more curious and aware of what is required for you to be you, and how much energy is required for that. And when you know how much it takes to regulate yourself on a high level, you're going to realize that the whole, if I don't do it, nobody else will, that's for the birds, right? That's not expansion. That's not expansion talk. That's not abundance behavior. Okay? So make sure that you're always, looking for opportunities to expand your efforts and your energy. I have been holding this cup in my hand for a minute. I wanted it, but when I get going, but that's what I wanted to. That's what I have for you today. For Me First Friday, and just to kind of like double back on the mommy guilt that I experienced. It wasn't like it's a really real thing. Like me having this startup, and I think that entrepreneurs, business owners, they can feel me when I say this. It's like, especially when things are not going, you ain't started up. The way that you want, you feel like this pressure that if you're not working, if you're not showing up, or if you have a lifestyle that you're trying to maintain and it ain't maintaining, like there's this pressure to show up, to do the work, to always be on the grind, because if you're not, I'm like, all right, well, how I used to say things like, how important is this to me if I'm not doing it right now? And that's just, that was me bullying myself into productivity. You don't want to be like that, and then or to be like, oh man, my babies, because that would only then fuel the guilt that I would feel like when my babies were wanting to spend time, but I'm like on my laptop, working. And so then I would just feel bad at the end of the night, like all the time, like, dang, they wanted time today. And so what I had to do was really make a shift in my life to prioritize, one, my wellness, prioritize the things that just were important to me. And I just realized that when I put my best foot forward, it's because I'm existing in balance and wellness. I took time, like, one time we hadn't been outside in a while, and I was just like, let's go outside and play. We weren't out there maybe like 10 minutes before it started raining. And I was just like, you know what? We staying out here today. We playing today. And the thing is, it only had rained for another 10 minutes. And so we were good. And it was just like, those are moments that I'll always cherish, because, when we're playing board games, like we played Monopoly this week, like, being able to have that time and not feel guilt about it just makes life so much richer. You'll just find yourself being even more present when you are being able to really prioritize in a way that aligns you with your highest good, aligns you with balance, because play is just as important as work. Rest is just as important as productivity. Like, it is productivity, right? And so we have to be able to get into that mindset. And then, for me, I already know everything is happening for my highest good. I have to rest in that. And so, because I rest in that, I rest well, right? My quality of sleep is at top notch because I rest in the knowing that everything is happening for my highest good. And so that's what I have for you today. Me First Friday. Just think about some of the things that we talked about, from just challenging that thought that if I don't do it, no one else will. Is that a preference? Is it true? How are you building up your tribe? How are you leveraging your network? And then also, on the other end of the spectrum, if I have to get this done, if it's me that's the only person that can do it, then what am I sacrificing so that I'm able to maintain? So I'm not going to bet on E. So I'm able to maintain balance in my life. So I'm able to make an investment for the future version of myself. And then lastly but not least, what are some of the things that we can do to prioritize that me time, so that we're able to decompress, so that we're able to get familiar with what it means to what energy is required for ourselves, so that we're able to explore our emotions, keep it real, reflect, express, accept, let go. So what does that look like, right? And so this is what I want you to consider today for Me First Friday. Listen, visit centerme.com. Visit centerme.com, sis. We are here to help you in leading a healthy heart, healthy mind lifestyle. We are hosting our Keep It Real journaling session tonight at 7. We do this every Friday night at 7. We're going to be doing some coaching on using healthy expression for self-advocacy. And so definitely make sure that you show up tonight. Reserve your spots. We're here to support you in wellness, in self-love, in stress relief, and all of the things that are going to help contribute to enhancing the quality of your life, and so that you're able to experience greater daily fulfillment. So make sure that you check us out. We reward our members for taking up space, So Center Me is exactly where you want to be, sis. And I'm looking forward to having you there. I'm looking forward to serving you in that space. So make sure that you go to centerme.com. Check us out today. I'm sending you so much love, so much peace, so much light. Have a wonderful, wonderful day on purpose.